Let me tell you about the time London decided to roast itself like a Sunday goose, all because someone couldn't supervise a loaf of bread. Yes, we're heading back to 1666, a year so cursed it feels like the devil dialed it up himself. 3 sixes in a row. Come on. You'd think someone would have stayed in bed. It all begins in Pudding Lane, which sounds cute until you realise it's about to become the launch site for one of the most catastrophic urban bonfires in European history. Our opening act, Thomas Fariner, a baker, a man whose only crime, apart from overcharging for stale buns, was forgetting to put out his oven. Around midnight on September 2nd, his bakery burst into flames, and like every good 17th century Londoner, he did what any responsible citizen would do. He bolted out the back door and let the neighbours deal with it. Unfortunately, this was not your average house fire. London at this time was basically one big timber tinderbox, narrow streets, tightly packed wooden homes, and just enough open flame per household to make Satan feel right at home. Within hours, the fire said cheers to Pudding Lane and marched straight into the heart of the city. Now, you might be wondering, didn't they have firefighters? Technically, yes. But it was mostly guys with leather buckets, long poles and zero urgency. Their main strategy was to demolish houses to create fire breaks. This sounds reasonable until you realise that no one wanted their house pulled down. So it quickly devolved into a committee of panicked homeowners screaming, "Not mine!" while the fire politely ignored everyone and kept going. By the time King Charles II was informed, the city was already well done. He eventually waddled in, wearing whatever passed for royal pyjamas, and declared, "Blow up houses," which is the kind of leadership we all need in a crisis. Slightly delayed, vaguely destructive, and with just enough flair to make it feel royal. So yes, they started blowing things up. Entire streets were levelled just to halt the fire's progress, because if history has taught us anything, it's that when in doubt, use explosives. Eventually, it worked. After 4 days of chaos, London's great barbecue finally went out. And what was left? Ashes, rubble, and some very confused pigeons. In total, around 13,000 homes were incinerated, 87 churches got toasted, and St. Paul's Cathedral, the old one, not the one tourists Instagram now, was reduced to something resembling a marshmallow left in the microwave too long. Miraculously, only a handful of deaths were officially recorded, which either means everyone was very lucky or the government was very creative with paperwork. Take your pick. And speaking of blame, they needed someone to blame. It couldn't just be a tragic accident, obviously. Enter Robert Hubert, a mentally unstable Frenchman who wandered into the scene and declared, "I did it." He claimed he threw a fireball through the bakery window, which sounds impressive until you remember there was no window. But never mind, they hanged him anyway. Justice was, shall we say, more performative than procedural. The silver lining, London got a makeover. The fire obliterated the plague-infested alleyways and forced the city to rebuild using actual stone. Sir Christopher Wren took the opportunity to play Minecraft with churches, including designing a brand new St. Paul's Cathedral with a dome so big it makes your Wi-Fi drop. Just thinking about it. So what did we learn? Well, if you live in a wooden city filled with open flames, maybe don't ignore your oven. If you're in charge during a disaster, maybe act before half the city is ash. And if a French guy confesses to something suspiciously specific, Maybe double-check that window first. That was the Great Fire of London. 4 days, 1 bakery, and an entire capital city on toast, all because someone wanted warm bread at midnight. Thanks, Thomas. Really nailed it.